Moving up in the world. Got my Blue Gold Nation crew in the back.
We have offensive lineman Hubbard.
So Jaquay, obviously starter last year. How are you different? How have you taken that experience, even though maybe a different position, but how have you taken that experience and utilizing it this year?
Yeah, just my IQ of the game. Being able to go back and watch all 12 games from last season, things I thought I did well, things I thought I did poorly at, just basically taking it all in and trying to better it and excel. Like you mentioned, I might be playing a little right guard this year, but that's not too much of a difference. You know, football is football. Just basically either watching NFL film or watching film from Doug last year is helping me make the transition.
That you said you did some things well, some things poorly.
Yes, sir.
What were they? What were the things you did well? What were the things you needed improvement on?
Yeah, so start with the things I did poorly. Sometimes I would drop my post foot when the guy was trying to come back inside. That's vital because the quickest way to the quarterback is inside. So I had to work on that. As you guys saw, I had about 4 false start penalties. You definitely got to clean that up on the edge. You can't have that. I take full responsibility for that. And things I thought I did well on, I improved throughout the year run blocking. I ran wing T in high school, so that's kind of all I know is run blocking. I thought I did well with that, and like I mentioned, my IQ of the game, you know, seeing the nickel blitz or seeing the gut X from the 2 backers, just being able to see that pre-snap, because it's a game of inches, especially at this level. So if you could get a tip on what your defense is doing pre-snap, you're definitely going to help your team.
What was the false starts? Just overeager, you think?
Yeah, so a couple of them, no excuse, but like Pitt, I literally couldn't hear nothing, and you know I had a wide 9 technique, and then the ball's inside, so I'm trying to keep both eyes out. Just experience, you know, and a couple of them, the way our cadence goes, it's off a clap or whatnot. Maybe sometimes I was a little quick to get off, you know, good ball get off, but still gotta hold it back. Yeah. So just something like that.
Yeah.
What's the difference in tackle and guard if you're trying to guard this year?
Yeah, so the difference I would say mainly is run blocking emphasis. With guard, you're dealing with more bigger bodies. You got the 1 technique, 3 techniques. They're typically over 300 pounds. And at tackle, I'm blocking more so defensive ends, outside linebackers, where they're more speed. But usually when you get your hands on them and you got a base under you, it makes it all the easier to kind of get them out the way. So I would say pass blocking at guard is a little easier. But run blocking is a little harder at guard, so it's kind of give and take a little bit.
A cross training, right? I know Yates at center, you're doing a little bit of guard, Nestor at tackle. I guess that's the idea is depth, right? To try to develop depth through the guys there.
Yep. Yeah. Develop depth. So like today, I was actually at tackle a little bit. Compared to last week, I was at guard, and Thursday I could be at guard or tackle. You know, Coach Moore's just been doing a great job just keeping us all in the loop, keeping us all interested. Because the more versatile you are, the better you are. You know, it's a long season. You never know. A guy could go down, 2 guys could go down. I could be forced to be put in a position maybe I haven't had a lot of reps at. That's why we use spring to really kind of develop that comfortableness so that when I do get in that highly pressured situation, it's just natural.
About left or right? You staying on one side or?
Yeah, I think he's going to keep us on one side just to not make it too much of a mix-up. But when I first came here, I was the left side. So if he moved me to left, it wouldn't be much. Just maybe have to get a couple more reps just to get back familiar. But it wouldn't be that big of a transition.
Steps are different, though, right?
Steps are way different. The calls are different. Your reads are different. That's why as an older player, it got easier. Now, if you'd asked me my freshman year to jump from right to left, I would have been like, oh, yeah. But, yeah, the older I got, and this definitely, I feel like I'm more than capable.
Gotcha. Transfer for you. Take us back to that. Was it difficult to make that decision to leave Virginia? Why'd you want to do it, and why ultimately West Virginia the second time around?
Yeah. It wasn't that much of a difficult decision, I would say, because I made it. But yeah, it was, all in all, I felt like it was a great decision for myself. Out of high school, I didn't have West Virginia as an offer. The old staff left, so I honestly didn't have an opportunity to really even consider them. So when I hit the transfer portal and Coach Moore and Coach Brown contacted me, I'm a Western PA kid, so it's not far. And I never liked Pitt. You could tally that. So I didn't go to Pitt after UVA. I kind of always had my mind set on West Virginia, but I just kind of played my cards right a little bit.
This is the second year in a row that the offensive line more or less is all back. Just what has it been like as a group to stay together for going into like a third season?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Like honestly, our chemistry is through the roof. We all know each other down to a T. We know how we work. We know how to push each other. We all know our strengths. We all know our weaknesses. And I think going into Penn State, that's like, I'm sure you can ask Coach Brown, having an offensive line that's been together for 3 years. I mean, you couldn't get more comfortable than that. But every single day we got to work on not being complacent, wanting to get better, wanting to still iron our technique a little bit. But yeah, having everyone together, having someone like Zach Frazier and Doug in the middle, who are very vocal guys, and their work speaks for themselves, and we're all kind of just be that anchor for the team. So we're trying to make it to where the team can lean on us during hard times because we have that chemistry, like you mentioned.
How about when you add the running backs to that and some quarterbacks that are mobile? I mean, the inclination is that you guys could have a really strong running game. Is that the thought there?
Yeah, definitely. So like we're returning everyone. We're big bodies up front too. We like to run the ball, and we have a little bit more mobility back at QB position than we have the prior years I've been here, which you're able to utilize RPO maybe a little bit more, so defense could bite down. And then we have like a four-headed monster at running back. I mean, any of those guys, they all love the game. They're all hungry. Coach Scott does a great job with getting them ready. So, yeah, we're eager, man. We're eager because we could pass it, we could run it, just whatever they call up. We're ready to dial it up. So we're really excited about this offense. Coach Scott becoming the coordinator was amazing move. We all loved it. I know you guys saw the reaction on social media. It was one of the best moves we could ever ask for. And his energy is so contagious that the whole building is just affected by it.
It'd be nice to block a zone knowing that your quarterback can actually pull it.
Oh, my goodness. Man. Well, and it keeps the defense on their toes, So, previously maybe, they're not going to bite that much on the pull, so they're able to key in on the run, load the box up a little more, makes it really hard. But now even with the two-headed competition we have at quarterback, both of them are mobile. Both of them have a beautiful deep ball. So it's like pick your poison. You want to load the box up, we got you. You want to spread it out, we're coming right down the middle. So it'll be interesting to see how people react to that.
Famously transform your body over a couple years.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Kind of like famously transform your body over a couple years. Lost in excess of 100 pounds, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. So I would say going back to from freshman year to high school until my sophomore year of college, I lost like 100 pounds roughly. But with that, I was not in a strength position that I needed to be. And that's where the last year and a half, 2 years have really come with me and Coach Joseph and his staff getting that anchor back for me because I lost all the weight, but like I said, I was lacked in strength. And offensive lineman is all about strength at the point of contact. So, I really just honed in. I knew if I wanted to make my dreams come true and if I wanted to be an asset to this team, I had to take my condition and my nutrition serious, and that's what I did. And it's a continuous battle, I was born a big boy, so I got, sometimes I want the fried chicken over the salad, but then I think about Penn State and I take the salad right away.
You mentioned that, I don't want to drag it up, but like last season, pitched the first game, that might have meant something to you, but also starting might have meant something to you. And you were number 2 last year, and then quickly you're back into 1.
Yeah.
What's that roller coaster like where you want to be the guy, it's not, you understand that, and then all of a sudden you are again. You got to be ready, I'm sure.
Yeah, so all the fall camp, going into Pitt, honestly, even myself, I didn't know who was going to start the game. It's just kind of that next man up mentality. I found out, I want to say that Friday that I wouldn't have been starting. And like you said, I'm from Western Pennsylvania, first time playing in not Heinz Field, I forget the name, I'm sorry. But it meant a lot to me, and unfortunately Jay White went down, but when I got my opportunity, I was more than happy to seize the opportunity. Just a side note, my grandfather was actually in UPMC hospital on his deathbed during the time, and so being able to play in front of him for his last few days while he was in Pittsburgh, I will never forget that, ever, ever, ever.
So I gotta ask, how do you lose 100 pounds? Some of us would like to know that. What did you do?
Yeah, so really, it was just I cared so much about football. You know, the doctor would say, "Well, you're not worried about the health." Well, I was, but honestly, I was just worried about being able to pull and pick up a linebacker. So really, though, it was just. This is gonna sound so cliche, but just become disciplined. I knew I'm like, okay, if I eat this, this is gonna stick to me. You know what I mean? Or basically like not eating too late. I think that's the biggest one. My problem was I would eat right before bed. Your body needs time to digest. I start drinking green tea, just little stuff like that my nutritionist helped me throughout the way. Extra workouts, extra conditioning with Coach Mike, lowering the temperature. When you sleep in your house, your body will process better throughout the night, and it'll actually help your metabolism and your body recover. Side note, if anyone needed that. So, yes, make your house cold when you sleep. Blackout shades, all that good stuff, and don't eat too soon before you go to bed.
All these things that you've done, does it make you appreciate it more?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Appreciate football. I mean, 100 pounds that's a heck of an accomplishment.
Right.
To get you where you are now. Do you appreciate it, what you've done?
Yeah, I do. And honestly, I haven't even really had the time to think about it like that because, I lose the 100 pounds, but I'm like, man, I'm not strong enough. And then I get strong enough, man, my feet got to get right. Or, it's always something I could work on. Absolutely. So, and I think that's just a personal thing. I'm just competitive. I know, okay, I got my weight down, but now I got to get stronger. Okay, I got stronger, but my football IQ isn't where I want to be. So I feel like it's a constant battle. Even if I'm fortunate enough to make it to the next level, every day I'm going to be learning something. So I think the day I'm done with football and ride off to the sunset, I'll be like, wow, I did lose a lot of weight. You know what I mean? But right now, I don't really think about it.
It maybe help you for the rest of your life.
Oh, it definitely. Well, I'll appreciate that more the older I get, for sure, because the older you get, the harder it is to lose. So thankful I did it.
What's your ideal weight? And how was the journey, because you kind of touched on this a little bit already, but how was the journey to be able to figure out what that ideal weight is? Because you lose 100 pounds.
Right.
But did you have to think, okay, this actually isn't my ideal weight?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I got down to about 300, about 305, and was weak, was really weak. Wouldn't have been an effective offensive lineman because I was just doing straight cardio. I was just so worried about getting the weight off of me. So I actually ended up putting on about 15 to 17 pounds of muscle since doing so. So I would say my ideal weight is probably around 317, 320-ish range. But when I lost all that weight, I was around 300 pounds, and I was very mobile, and I felt very elusive. But like I said, I was not strong at the point of contact, and you can't play the offensive lineman position like that. So, I would say if my ideal weight though, probably about 317, 320.
So 300 is your cross country weight.
Yeah, 300. You put me at 300, 295, I might be able to wrestle a little bit. Yeah. Tell Coach I'll wrestle 95 for him.
Have you actually been able to help other guys with journeys? Because not everyone has to lose 100 pounds, but cutting weight or putting weight on, figuring out your ideal weight, it's easier said than done, obviously. But you just did this journey, so regardless of how long you've been into school or not, you almost are.
So I would say I try. Right. I try to give people tips. But sometimes I have to be like, dude, they don't want to lose weight like you. Like, calm down a little bit. But, yeah, like we have some guys on the offensive linemen, like some incoming freshmen who been dealing with weight loss, and I give them tips like, you don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, you don't want that because tomorrow you're going to feel it. Just trying to really take my experience and pass down knowledge because that's what also someone did that to me. A side note, Mike Adams, he's my godfather, played for the Steelers, and he was a really big mentor to me. He said, a quote, the leaner you stay, the longer you play. And that just stuck with me from like my freshman year on. I'm like, I'm not lean at all. So it looks like my career is going to get cut short. I better get to eating salad. So.
Do you like guard better than tackle, tackle better than guard? Which one do you prefer?
I prefer either one that will put me on the field. I like guard. I do like guard because I'm a longer guard than typical guard. So if I get first hands on first, it makes it really hard because typically the one techniques are shorter armed. But I also like tackle because of my length and my twitch. So honestly, after going through spring, seeing which one they like me at more, I'll play. But I don't really have a preference.
Where do you think you're better?
I think I'm better at both.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I think guard and tackle. I think I'm pretty versatile. Whatever one though Coach Brown and Coach Moore feels like I'll be able to be most dominant at is which you'll see me at this fall.
All right, how about which side? Right side, left side?
Right side.
Right side.
Right side. Yeah, that's where I have most.
Right-handed?
Yes, sir. Right-handed, and that's where I have most of my collegiate level reps at is the right side. So where my training's at.
Gotcha.
Mike Adams, the offensive lineman, or Mike Adams, the receiver?
Offensive lineman.
Offensive lineman.
Yes, sir. Ohio State graduate. He's from my hometown.
Okay, anything else for Jaquay? All right.
Thank you, guys.